If you're starting a GLP-1 medication and you want to lose weight without losing muscle, feeling awful, or falling into diet traps, this is for you. GLP-1s aren't a magic wand. They're a really powerful tool. So here's how to use that tool to get healthy, strong, functional, and live the life you want. Hi, I'm Dr. Megan Tierney. I'm board certified in family and obesity medicine and a Menopause Society certified practitioner. I'm also the founder of Sorrel Health and Wellness here in Seattle, Washington, where I help women in midlife navigate hormones and metabolism with clarity and self compassion so that they can build sustainable change that isn't driven by shame, guilt, or perfectionism. All right, so where do we begin? I think we begin with what is a GLP-1 and what is in that medication and how does it work? Because we kind of need to know our tool before we use it. GLP-1 is a hormone that our body already makes. Its job is to help regulate appetite, blood sugar, and digestion. So, a GLP-1 helps our body to use the energy that we consume efficiently, and it also tells our brain that we've already eaten. So, it makes us feel full. It does this in a couple ways. It tells our pancreas to make insulin, and then that insulin tells our muscles to use the energy we just consumed. It also tells our gut to slow down, making us feel full for longer. And then it tells our brain that we're not hungry anymore. These medications are simply a longer lasting version of what our body already makes naturally. So you can see how this medication could potentially help you lose weight and improve your metabolic health. It's a great medication, but it's also a very powerful tool. And so, in order to use that tool, we need to do a couple things to really optimize. So, one of the first things that I recommend patients do when they're even just considering starting a GLP-1 is I would recommend tracking the food that you eat. Now, I know tracking kind of sucks, but it can be a very helpful tool because knowledge is power, right? And if you know what you're eating, then you know how you can adjust. It's also important to know what your baseline is if we're going to make big changes. Because if you're eating just like 50 grams of protein a day and the goal is like 100, 120 grams of protein a day, going from 50 grams of protein a day to 120 grams of protein a day does not feel good to your body. And so it's nice to know that you actually have pretty far to go so that you can make adjustments more slowly so that that feels more sustainable to you and you don't have side effects from changing your diet so quickly. So the second thing is that I really recommend patients get a body composition scan. And that is not one of these weird apps that takes a picture of you and like makes some guess as to what your body composition is. This is actually like something either an in-body scan, a DEXA scan, these are by body impedance analysis, or a DEXA. So that's a bone density scan, can also use the same technology to tell your body composition. And so I really recommend getting a baseline so that you know where you're starting and you can see how things shift and change as you lose weight. Because our goal is for you to either maintain your lean muscle mass or to gain lean muscle mass. And if you don't know what your baseline is, it's hard to know if you're reaching that goal. All right, so we know what our tool is. We know what we should do before we start. Let's talk about nutrition. So the first one is one that everybody already knows. They hear about all the time, and it's protein. I know, protein. So protein is incredibly important. It is what our muscles are made out of. And so if our goal is to maintain or build muscle, we need to be eating enough protein. And so the goal is somewhere between 1 and 1.2 grams per kilograms ideal body weight. That's the calculation. You can even go up to 1.5, but I start out with 1 to 1.2. And then if like you don't want to calculate that, or if you're not sure, if you want to kind of get the idea of it, you want to get 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal. The second thing, and probably the most underappreciated part of your diet, is going to be fiber. There are lots of reasons to increase your fiber. One is most Americans don't get enough fiber. Two, it's incredibly important for your gut health. And three is that GLP-1 medications are constipating. Like you need to poop. And so fiber helps you do that. You need to eat more fiber and drink plenty of water. Fiber without water can make you constipated too, so it's important to get that water in. And the goal is you want to at least get 25 grams of fiber per day. If you're currently getting something like 10 grams of fiber, 15 grams of fiber, don't jump. Don't jump to 25 or 30 grams of fiber. You need to go up slowly. Otherwise, it will also make your tummy not feel so good. So the next thing is calories. It can be really easy when you have been dieting your whole life to feel like it is the goal for you to eat the least amount possible. And that is so far from the truth. We really want you to fuel your body. We want you to fuel your body so you can build those muscles, so you can live the life you want. And calories are an important part of that. You can use online calculators to determine what your calorie need is, and you don't want to restrict too much. There's sort of like this magic place where you are reducing your calorie intake, but not so much that you essentially shut down your metabolism and your body starts holding on to every calorie, every morsel that you give it because it's afraid that you're starving to death. So you want to have a modest deficit of calories. And you can only know that if you track. You want to know where you're at so that you can increase slowly or make adjustments slowly so that you don't feel gross. But here, I would recommend tracking every once in a while. So not all the time, not every day. It cannot be your second job. Nobody needs that. Nobody has time for that. But you could track your food for, say, 3 to 5 days. And what I would recommend is that you pick in the middle of your shot week. You take the snapshot so that you can make adjustments. You can make sure that you're getting enough protein. You can make sure you're getting enough fiber. You can make sure that you're getting enough calories. If you're finding it too hard to eat, you're finding that you are not having hunger cues, you are missing meals, you track your calories and it's way under your goal, then that's a time to talk to your doctor. We want to make sure that you're feeding your body and you are able to take this medication safely and reach your goals safely. We want you to be healthy and strong so you can live a long, healthy life. All right, next up is movement. So exercise is just as important as nutrition. And the most important exercise for when you're taking a GLP-1 is resistance training. The goal is to get 2 to 3 times a week, 20 to 30 minutes. Now, when I talk to patients about starting an exercise plan or creating an exercise plan that is sustainable, I love a SMART goal. So SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So specific is you literally say like, I am going to walk for 10 minutes every Monday. And it needs to be measurable, meaning you can say, I have actually done that, right? Like check, I've done 10 minutes. You can measure 10 minutes. It's achievable. I have the time to do it. I am capable of doing that. In fact, it feels like it'd probably be pretty easy to do. That's the best goal. And then it's relevant. It's really important to me that I build my cardiovascular fitness. And if I'm starting at 0, walking for 10 minutes one day a week is definitely progress. So it's definitely relevant to my goal. And then time bound, I'll probably say, I'm going to walk for 10 minutes one day a week for the next 6 weeks, and then I'm going to see how I feel. Now, the most important part about goals is that if you're finding that you're not able to achieve them, it is not a failure of you, it is a failure of the goal. So it's important for reflection to be like, hey, what can I do about this goal? What can I change about this goal to make it easier for me to do? Because what we want is to be successful. And we are successful by adjusting our goal, not beating ourselves up. So what weight loss is appropriate? So usually what we want is to have somewhere between a half a pound to 3 pounds per week, no more than 2 pounds per week on average. And this is so that you are not losing a ton of muscle mass along with the weight. But really, the most important thing is about how your body is feeling. So if you're feeling fatigued, you're feeling sore, you're just feeling kind of gross, then something isn't right. And either the medication needs to be changed or your nutrition needs to be changed, your movement, something needs to be adjusted because the goal is for you to feel good, feel healthy, feel strong. And the GLP-1 medication is really an opportunity for you to reconnect with your body. So If you are someone who has struggled with food noise, has struggled with dieting, has struggled with trying to improve your relationship with food to feel more in control, you are likely to be very disconnected from your body because you have spent years trying to ignore it. I would invite you to take the opportunity when you are taking a GLP-1 medication, when that background chatter of food noise is quieter, when you are not feeling a constant struggle with your body, feeling like it's screaming at you when you're dieting. This is an opportunity for you to reconnect, to be quiet, to be mindful, to listen to those now quieter hunger cues. This is an opportunity for you to be in communication with your body, to feel in control, to really feel like feeding your body is about love and care and not about quieting the monster inside. And suffering is not the point. Like, we have spent decades trying to diet to lose weight, and part of the point of those diets was to suffer and potentially punish you for being in a larger body. And it's really important to me that you know that punishment is not part of this process, that you do not need to be punished for your body, that you should not suffer for your health. This is an opportunity to use a tool to make the changes that are good for you not feel like suffering. So, with all of this, you can really optimize the effects of your medication. You can not only reach your health goals, but also reach a mindset where you are feeling connected and in control of your body. And so, GLP-1s are an amazing tool for the right people, and you can absolutely reach some really incredible goals. I am excited for you. If you're thinking about this journey or if you're already on this journey, I hope this information was helpful. Please like and share if it was. And if you're in Washington State, feel free to check out my website. It will be in the comments, and you can book a discovery call if you'd like to work with me directly.